Hello, people. We are joined this evening by a brother by the name of Duel Thomas that is at the Illinois River Correctional Facility, and he has been incarcerated since 1999. And, I'm going to ask him some questions because I think that it's so very important for you to know. So, really, Duel, please explain to the people who you are, what is your name, how long you've been incarcerated, and your place of incarceration.
Well, my name is Duel Thomas. I've been incarcerated approximately 23 years, somewhere up in there. And my current place of incarceration is Illinois River Correctional Center in Central Illinois.
Okay. And could you at least explain to the listeners just an inch why you believe the police arrested you?
I believe they arrested me off of false accusations, and I believe they were just gathering up people in the neighborhood that was, kind of known around the neighborhood and see what they can come up with or who they can get to, say something about the other. So I was just happen to be one of those persons that they said my name came up dealing with the situation. So that's why I believe they grabbed me, arrested me.
Okay. And what police station were you held at, and for how many days or hours?
When I was picked up, I was picked up by the Area 4 headquarters detectives, and I was taken to Area 4, which is Harrison the Kids on the west side of Chicago, and I was there for approximately 72 hours, like 3 days, something like that.
Okay. And what happened to you inside of the police station lockup, and by whom?
Well, after they put me in the interrogation room, which is like a lockup room, and locked it, where the door locks from the outside, no windows, no clock, no nothing, the light switches on the outside. They interrogated me, and, as days went on, the interrogation got even rougher and rougher. And they decided that I knew nothing about the situation. So, as I say, other individuals was coming in, and they was, doing what they was doing to them. But once they got tired of me, I guess, telling them I didn't do it, one night after I came back from the polygraph examiner, which was taken by examiner Robert Milan, and I was asleep on the floor. And I don't know what time it is. Like I say, it wasn't no clock in the room, but I know it was late. So I was asleep on the floor, and next thing I know, the light went off. Like I mentioned, the light switch is on the outside of the room. The lights went off, and the door opened. So me laying on the floor, I had rolled my jacket up into a little pillow to lay on the floor. So I'm trying to clear my eyes, open my eyes, see who was coming in. I figured it was just another routine interrogation. So I was trying to prepare myself to sit up and get ready for it. But right when I was clearing my eyes, I felt a kick to my head. So instantly I curled up and covered my face because I didn't know what was going on. So I was being kicked and kicked and kicked and stomped and kicked and stomped, to the point where I got upset with the situation, and I think I went into defense mode. So I grabbed the officer's leg in the hopes to stop them from kicking me. And when I grabbed his leg, that's when I felt a gun to the back of my head, and the voice telling me, let my leg go before you shoot my black ass. So I didn't want to die. I didn't want to get shot in the head. So I let the man go. I let the leg go, and I just curled up in the fetal position again, figuring the beat was going to start over or start again. So, but it didn't. He ended up walking out of the room and closing the door, and I just laid there bleeding and trying to nurse my wound as best I can, wiping the blood off my face with my shirt, trying to, nurse myself as much as I could in that situation. And I just stayed up all night figuring I was too scared to go back to sleep. I was scared that they was going to come back and get me again while I was asleep. So I just stayed up all night, just scared, just scared and stressing under duress, and just praying that they don't come back in there and kill me, you know. So that's why. Oh, and it was done by Detective Dominique Rizzi. It was him because I recognized his voice when he said, "Let my leg go before I shoot your black ass." I knew that was him because he had interrogated me many times before up in that same station.
Okay. And why did you not tell the assistant Cook County State's attorney that police beat and mistreated you?
Miss Clarissa Primero, she was the first person the next morning to come into my room after that to find me laying on the floor, beaten and bloody and swollen. And when she came in, she immediately, when she seen me, she noticed the wounds and the blood on the floor, so she immediately turned around and left back out and closed the door. When she returned with some of the officers that was there when the assault happened to me. And she stood in the room with them. Now, this is a small room. We all in that room. Now, they watching her question me about who did this to me. So, of course, they just beat me. So I'm not going to say who did this. They're right in front of them. And they're looking right at me, you know. And so I'm scared. So I'm like, no, I don't want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling her I need medical attention in the hopes that she will remove me from the station and take me somewhere then where I could feel comfortable enough to tell her what was going on. So I just told her, like, no, I don't want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So that was the reason I didn't tell her, because the officers that was involved with the assault was standing right there while she was actually questioning if they'll beat me for a confession. Doesn't matter what they'll do to me if I'm potentially finna disrupt their livelihood or their jobs.
Yes, and trust me, I clearly understand 100%. Being someone placed in that same situation inside of a police station. Now, who was the supervisor in 1999 when you were taken down to the police station over felony review?
It was Robert Milan. Robert Milan was the deputy supervisor of the criminal review unit. He was Clarissa Primero's assistant state's attorney who was investigating the crime. He was her boss. And from what we know now, after she noticed me and did her so-called preliminary investigation just by asking who did it, that's as far as she went. She went to his office and left him a memo notifying him of the situation and the condition she found me in and what happened to me. And then she came back and just continued her interrogation. They never once tried to get me medical attention, remove me from that station to make sure I was safe. They never, they just continued to interrogate me in the hopes of using, in my opinion, in the hopes of using the duress and the fear that I was having, not to mention the physical pain that I was in, to obtain a confession from me. They just swept the whole thing on the rug. And it's amazing that now that he is the special prosecutor assigned to argue against claims of torture under John Burroughs and his crime. I just don't understand how a person who is so involved in covering up police misconduct can now be paid by the city to literally argue against the things that he covered up. That makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm sorry to go there, but it's just crazy, you know.
Well, I do understand the emotions. I understand the tone of voice as, I clearly express and state that I was in that same situation. And, you sound like I sound when I was in your situation over 13 years ago, hemmed up inside of a prison serving a natural life sentence. Now, what I would like to ask you is, when is your next court hearing, and what do you want society to know about your situation?
Well, my next court hearing is November the 30th at 9 o'clock a.m. in the Cook County Court Building. In front of Judge Joyce in courtroom 604. And mainly what I want society to know is that, once again, we got a wrongfully convicted, maliciously prosecuted, and a victim of police misconduct and abuse, physical abuse. In the cover-up by the state's attorney, the people that supposed to work for the people is sweeping under the rug these misconduct by police officers. You know what I'm saying? And at the highest level, because you got Robert Milan. He literally was the deputy supervisor. He the one oversees all the cases. He the one recommends the murder charges on the cases to the head state attorney. Literally covering up, literally sweeping under the rug police abuse. So there's no way he can say that he didn't know what was happening right up under his doggone nose, because he did. So I just want the people to know that, here we go again. And I'm not, you ain't got to believe me. People can literally go to my case and look for themselves from arrest to conviction. Go look, go read it. Go read everything. I don't care if you're a legal scholar, a regular person, or even a critic of my type of situation. Go read my case from beginning to every single file, every report, every memo from my case, from Detective Rizzi and what he did, Robert Burke to what he did, from Calissa Clemero and Robert Milan for what they did, from the state's attorney who prosecuted me at trial, Lauren Moran, to Judge John J. Moran, from allowing perjured testimony, the only testimony that implicated me in this trial was perjured testimony of my trial, and the judge allowed this in his courtroom. Every one of these people have been cited for some type of misconduct, starting from the police to the judge. Everybody been cited for misconduct in these type of cases. So I just want people to go read it. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm not looking for mercy. I'm not looking for somebody to feel bad for me. I'm looking for justice, Brother Mark. That's all I'm looking for.
Yes. And in closing, I would like for you to, if you had the opportunity to deliver any message to Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx, what would that message be in less than a minute?
Ms. Kim Foxx said in one of her statements when she was first running that she's there to give everybody a fair chance, a fair look when it deals with these cases. And trust me, she's been doing a beautiful job in what she's doing. So all I ask Kim Foxx is, give me that fair shake. Look into this case. Go through it. Look what happened to me. Look what they did. Look at the cover-up. Look at the sweep under the rug. Look at the misconduct from arrest to conviction. Look at the case in total. And you cannot go through all that and say that, listen, this thing was done right. So that's all I ask her is just give me that fair shake that she said she was going to give every single body when she was coming into office. She was going to give us that fair shake. Everybody that fair shake. That's all I want is that fair shake that she promised in her campaign when she first ran for office. That's it.
Yes, and that is a beautiful statement. And I just want to thank you for joining the broadcast this evening. Thank you.